Cuckoo! Welcome to Hexed History, where I explore Paris through art, history, crafting, and disability. I actually had a fair amount of red felted wool in my scrap pile, so I didn't mind using a bit of it up for a test run. I used a pattern I found online and roughed out a sketch. I cut the two pieces out and basted them together to check the fit. It was way too big and didn't sit the way I hoped. I created a better shape for my head and sized it appropriately. I basted it together to confirm the sizing and realized it was now just a touch too snug. Easy enough to fix though. I used my snips to notch out the curve at the top of the cap so that it would invert more cleanly. Definitely happier with how it was looking at this point. I opted for a running stitch with regular back stitches for reinforcement. This is a good way of balancing speed versus strength. Most reinforcement happened where I anticipated strain would occur. I then plucked the basting out. I have a cat in my lap. Oh, there she goes. Hi, Cape. I used my iron presser to open the seams. This is an overcast finish. There was no need to turn the raw edge under, as it's felted, which will minimize fraying. While likely overkill, I did take care to use smaller stitches, which will also help minimize fraying. Through the curves, I found it easiest to manage these with my darning mushroom and darning egg. You can see how the catches are barely visible on the outside. Although not strictly necessary, I opted to edge the cap with a blanket stitch in bold golden yellow. The edge was primarily the selvage, which would have held the shape just fine with no risk of fraying. Additionally, I knew I was going to enclose it in a linen strip. However, if I ever needed to remove the strip, the hat would still be 100% wearable. Wool can be itchy depending on the breed and production method used. I grabbed some linen from my scrap pile and cut it to size. This strip will act as a buffer between my skin and the wool. I did another back stitch with overcast finish for the seam. This time, though, the raw edges are turned under to prevent fraying. You'll notice I didn't knot the thread. Instead, I looped it a few times, then ran it down the middle of the folded seam, doubled back once or twice, then trimmed. It's still very secure, but will not rub or irritate my skin. Holding the two right sides together, I did a running backstitch all the way around the cap, approximately 1 centimeter from the edge. I used a blanket stitch, again, to help reduce the risk of fraying. I then folded the linen under and used my presser to create a clean fold. I tucked the raw edge under and pinned the fabric in place. Overcast stitching secured the band in place. Once again, this is barely visible on the outside. I used the presser to smooth everything out. I have a collection of twilled tape, so I grabbed 5 centimeters or so of the appropriate colors to recreate the French flag. Bleu, blanche et rouge. Here, I used small blanket stitches for the seam, which allow it to hinge open and lie flat. A quick pass with the presser opened it up nicely. I opted for black thread because with 3 very different colors in use, anything I picked would have stood out. Instead, black disappears into the work and doesn't draw unnecessary attention. Thank you so much for joining me today. Now, if you haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Strike the bell if you want to know when I post a new video. And if you want to try making your own Phrygian cap, my pattern is available for purchase on my Ko-fi. You can support me over there too by joining a monthly tier level or leaving a one-time donation. Thank you again for watching. À bientôt mes amis.